Hello, beautiful people. This is Indigo Owl coming to you with live guidance from London, UK. And it is Saturday evening here. It's quite late. I've had a very nice, fairly slow, relaxing day today, which is the reason I still have some energy this evening to do a reading. I'm going to start the reading from tomorrow because tomorrow, how exciting, is the 1st of August. So certainly in this hemisphere where I am, we are now in the middle of summer. If you are in a different hemisphere, you probably are now in winter or somewhere in between summer and winter. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a great time. I hope the weather is palatable for you. I hope you're going to enjoy this live guidance. It will be for a whole week, so it will be from tomorrow, Sunday the 1st, all the way through to next week, Saturday, which should be the 7th of August. I'm going to draw 2 tarot cards for each weekday, and I will have at least, I think, 2 theme cards and 1 message of hope from the Oracle decks that I've chosen today. And there will be a Romance Angel pick card at the end. There will be 3 cards for you to choose from. I've got my camera angled so that you can see my beautiful golden Buddha with the very beautiful, my beautiful houseplant that's in bloom at the moment. And it looks almost like the Buddha has flowers in his hair or her hair. I would like to think that Buddha could be him or her, or even they and them. Most definitely not defined by gender, but rather by a way of being. And you may also be able to see that my Buddha is holding crystals, and I've got some lovely incense going as well. I will need to change the angle of the camera so that you can see the cards in a minute. But in the meantime, we're going to start with our first tarot deck, the Good Tarot. I'm going to shuffle. I'm just getting the crystals ready for later as well. We're going to need the Hope Stone and the crystals later on. Here we go, so I don't forget. Right, I'm going to start shuffling the first tarot deck. It's got this lovely mossy green back, these cards. It always makes me think of a green book with maybe some amazing spells in it, like or herbal medicine. They are very beautiful cards, the Good Tarot. It's an interesting name. I should probably look up why Colette Baron-Reid chose to call it the Good Tarot. Maybe because some people think tarot could potentially be bad. So this one definitely has been created for the purpose of bringing good. Certainly any tarot deck I've ever used, I've always used with the intention of doing good. I would not want to do any kind of a tarot or oracle readings or anything like that with any other intention other than to be helpful to the person who's receiving the reading. That's really important. So I've shuffled the Good Tarot. Maybe now is the time to move the angle a bit so you can see the cards here. Very good. So we're going to draw 7 cards from this deck. And 1 more. There we go. That's the first 7 cards for today. Let's put those ones to the side, and we're going to draw 7 more tarot cards. This is This is our second tarot deck for today. We have the Angel Tarot. Let's have a little shuffle here as well. You can now see the bottom half of my Buddha with the crystals. It's still a lovely view. The Buddha really wanted to be... I've got some old cards here still, so let's put those away. So this Angel Tarot deck has the Archangel Michael on the back, which looks rather fancy compared to the last one, I guess. There's a lot more going on the back of these cards. All these need a good shuffle. I can really feel there's some old energy in there. Let's see. One more round, I think, and then we can draw 7 more tarot cards. Ever since I doubled up the tarot cards for each weekday the first time, it's something I'm really drawn to now. Again and again. I don't do it every time, but I do it quite a lot now, because when I don't, it's almost like I'm missing something. 7, here we go. We've got our 7 cards, and that means we're going to lay these out and we're going to start reading the tarot for the week starting from tomorrow. Okay, let's double up here. And then I might have to reorganize them a little bit so you can see all of the cards as I turn them over. Yes, most definitely. How shall we do this? We do the first 4 days. And the second row will be the 3 weekend days. That might be quite nice. After weekend somehow a little bit separate. Right, maybe if I move this back a bit. Here we go. A little sip of my drink. And we're ready to roll. So, these first 2 cards are for tomorrow, Sunday, the 1st of August. Or maybe where you are, it's already Sunday. Not that far off where I am, about an hour. So we've got here, we've got 6 of Earth. And we've got 7 of Air. 6 and 7, beautiful, beautiful succession. You'll have to bear with me. It is a bit late here, so if I take a little while to come up with the right word, please be patient with me. So the 6 of Earth is very much a card of balance. The Earth, the element of Earth, or Pentacles, the suit of Pentacles in more traditional tarot, goes with all earthly practical material matters in life. It goes with the kind of the physical life. It goes with things to do with our physical body, needs we have and wants we have. And like I said, 6 is a card of balance in that area. It can show the ability to give and receive freely. In a very traditional deck, it will show a beggar and nun and the king coming together and sharing freely with each other, which is something that's kind of in real life unlikely to happen. So it's actually showing this transcendence of the traditional, of the restraints of society, where the heart has opened enough in order for us to actually give and receive more freely, and not question so much who we are receiving from or giving to, but rather give what we have and receive what we need, be open to receive what we need, and be willing to let go of what we don't need. So a very beautiful, peaceful card that is come together with the 7 of Air. Now, the 7 of Air, the element of air goes with thinking and logic, with the mind. More traditionally, these would be 7 swords. I guess in this card it's represented by the 7 horns of the unicorns. It says on here, plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. So, sometimes the 7 of air can represent when we've taken on too many different things, and then it becomes difficult to know what to focus on, and we get this feeling of we're not going to be able to do all of it, that something will be dropped by accident, or maybe there will be 1 or 2 things we have to put down and just leave for later, or leave altogether. It can also represent acting behind the scenes without allowing other people to see what's going on, acting in secret. It can also very much represent being left to pick up the pieces all by yourself. But the feeling I'm getting from the 6 of Earth is very interesting, because it feels like this kind of peaceful feeling of being able to give and receive freely is what's meant to be coming out from underneath of this 7 of air, where there is a bit too much, pardon me, I have to yawn, there's a bit too much going on in the 7 of air, and it's all got a bit overwhelming. But actually, once we discover the things that we can put down and either leave for later or leave altogether, this kind of beautiful 6 of Earth feeling will actually come out. So I almost feel like I want to leave. Well, it needs to stay underneath, doesn't it? It makes sense that way. So once we shift that 7 of air feeling, what we're going to discover underneath actually is going to be very nice and peaceful, and it's going to feel like life is flowing in exactly the right way. Let's have a look at Monday, the 2nd of August. We have another number 7. The 7 of air, and here the 7 of fire. And the Queen of Earth. And again, we're back to the Earth. Lovely. So the 7 of fire. 7 of fire is a card that's sometimes called self-defense, and is reminding us that we are more than able to defend ourselves. So this card can come at times where other people might try and lay claim to the fruits of our labor, to the things that we have worked very hard for, and we make a stand and say, you need to I always remember my friend saying here, you need to go and get your own water from the well. She grew up in a village in Africa, and that's what people regularly did. People had to go and get water from the well. And sometimes I guess there would have been people that would try and get someone else to do the hard work for them. So there is something about protecting what you've worked for very hard, knowing that you'll be able to protect it. It's funny that we have 2 7s together. It's also interesting that these 7 unicorns here have become 1 unicorn. Now, this is the only unicorn, I think, in this whole deck of the Good Tarot, although several of the cards in this Angel Tarot have unicorns in. So it's almost like these 7 unicorns, which could represent 7 different projects or opportunities or tasks that get whittled down to 1 important one, which is actually maintaining our flow and protecting what's ours. And it's come together with the Queen of Earth. And it says, make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. So now when we look at these 2 together, what we can see is that when we do have to stand up for ourselves and protect what's ours, we are asked to deal with these challenges in a kind and understanding manner. So maybe some people will feel intimidated by us, and we need to be kind about that rather than unkind, I guess, rather than being too brash. Also, for me personally, when I see the Queen of Earth here, I'm starting a new training course tomorrow that is led by a lovely woman who I'm very excited to be learning with her. So she will probably represent the Queen of Earth to me as well. And it says here, thoughtful, creative, warm and sensible. And I think all of those attributes apply to her. I've already watched quite a few training videos she recorded for us, so I've got a bit of a feel for her. So for me, I can very much also see, I feel like I want to leave the unicorns next to each other here. Yes, for me, she will probably bring this Queen of Earth feeling to me. Let's have a look at Tuesday, which will be the 3rd of August. It's always a real challenge for me to try and keep track of the numbers in between looking at the cards. We have another Queen and interpreting the cards and listening to the channeled messages. Oh, and the High Priestess. What a beautiful combination. So what we've had now is we've had the 2 sevens together, and now we also have 2 queens together. We have the Queen of Water and the High Priestess, 2 very feminine cards. So we've got the Queen of Water, more traditionally the Queen of Cups, is sometimes called the Earth Mother. This is someone who's very much in touch with their emotions, who is probably also very good at holding other people's emotions, children and adults alike. Also someone who probably is very empathic and also needs to make enough time to look after their own emotional needs in order to keep being helpful in that way to other people. It's come beautifully coupled here with the High Priestess, number 2. And it immediately made me think that it's the 2nd day of the week as well. This is for Tuesday. And it says, listen to your intuition, have patience, and consider carefully what you want before acting. So 2 very intuitive cards actually together. So it looks like Tuesday will be a day of heightened intuition. It will be important to be patient on Tuesday, and really, really feel into what's going on before making any kind of decisions or before acting when it comes to important matters. Very interesting. I'm going to leave the Queen of Water on top here. After the 7 of Fire, we need a Queen of Water. She's going to have this lovely cooling effect on the whole situation. Yeah, with those 2 sevens here, it feels like things are going to be coming to a head a little bit, and then she's going to come in with this soothing energy. So we're going to now look at Wednesday. See, now I've lost track of the numbers. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Wednesday, the 4th of August. It's better if I count rather than tell you the wrong number. We have the Ace of Water. And the Queen of Water again. We have the double Queen of Water here. Isn't that amazing? Wow. Very, very watery as we go towards the middle of the week. Ace of Water is very much a new beginning. Water goes, or more traditionally cups, very much goes with the emotions and relationships area of life. Ace of Water can very much represent the start of a new relationship. It can represent an existing relationship going to the next level. It can represent the birth or the conception of a child. And it can, when it's related to work or career, it can represent an opportunity or a new beginning in that area if it's something that we're very passionate about. And it's come coupled with the other Queen of Water cards from the other tarot deck. And again, it says on here, patient. That was one of the things that came through here with the High Priestess. It said, be patient. And on here, it says, always patient, empathetic, tender-hearted, loving. And it says, relationships develop to a new level. So this is almost like a double message of the same thing here. Trust your intuition. So we've got intuition twice. We've got the High Priestess with the intuition. and care for yourself and others. Wow, something big is happening on Wednesday, and there's almost this kind of I don't know which one to put on top. I kind of want to show the two queens that came together, but we've also got here a beautiful Ace of Water. So I'll just, maybe I can do it like this. Yeah. So it's almost like on Tuesday, all this amazing emotional energy is coming in. And it's really important that before we act, we need to really tune into our intuition and be very patient, because a big shift is happening on Wednesday for some of you. No reading ever applies to everyone, so these readings that I'm offering here, if they resonate for you, then they are for you. It may even feel like I'm speaking directly to you. If they don't resonate, please don't take the reading on board. Then it's not for you. You will find someone else that can read for you, or maybe a reading isn't what you need right now. But I trust that the people that watch my readings get something out of it. You need to pick and choose what makes sense to you. If all of it makes sense to you, that's amazing. It doesn't have to, in order for this reading to be useful to you. So do we dare look at the rest of the week? We've got here Thursday, the 5th of August. You can see when I'm hesitating, I'm counting the cards again. And we have the 8 of Water and the Ace of Fire. So we have water, 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 and then back to fire. We had some fire here. Wow. Just reminding myself what's under there. So the 8 of Water. The 8 of Water is very much a card of things coming to a natural end. So it may well be that in order to truly embrace this new beginning, or embrace this kind of stepping up of something that's already happening, we also need to let go of something that hasn't worked out, or something that has only taken us so far. Sometimes the 8 of Water or the 8 of Cups can show someone who's had 8 cups offered, or 7 cups offered, and then the 8th cup is just out of reach. Or they've got all the first 8 cups, but they're going for the 9th, and ultimately the 10th cup, which would be the completion, which would be the actual complete happiness without compromise. And it's coupled here amazingly. We've got 2 aces come next to each other as well, and water and fire. We've got an Ace of Fire. So Ace of Fire, Ace of Wands, that very much goes with our spiritual journey through life and with our career. It says here an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, and change your life now. So very interesting. The 8 of Water has come together with the Ace of Fire. And I'm actually going to read you this particular 8 of Water, because this beautiful deck, the Good Tarot, has some lovely writing to go with all of the cards, and every so often I like to actually read it the way it was, the exact way it was intended by the person who created it, rather than just interpret it the way that I have read these cards for many, many years. It says, journey of discovery, letting go and seeking a deeper meaning and greater authenticity beyond superficiality. Wow. All that glitters isn't gold, and I know what I always deserve, authentic, and I know that I always deserve authentic riches, the gold that fills me with joy, abundance, and understanding. I fearlessly pause to re-examine where I have been, where I am, and where I might go. Now I consciously choose the path that is right for me instead of the one that seems likely to draw me onto it. or the one I feel I ought to walk. I am true to my heart. I've come as far as I can, and I leave by the wayside the last vestiges of illusion, the last bits of fear and shame. I will no longer hold on to what isn't right for me. Wow, what a powerful message, and how powerfully coupled immediately with this Ace of Fire. So there is an exciting new opportunity available for some of you. And we also have gone from the 6 to the 2 sevens and now to the 8. And we have 2 1s here, obviously, and 2 queens. So very, very exciting energies coming up. Let's have a look at Friday, which should be the 6th of August. We have 2 of Earth. Now we're back to Earth. We started with the 6 of Earth, you may remember. Now we have 2 of Earth. And 11, I've just said we've got the 2 1s here. That makes the number 11. So we've got 2 of Earth and Strength. The beautiful Archangel Ariel in this particular deck. So the 2 of Earth is a card, and we're now looking at Thursday. The 2 of Earth is a card that sometimes shows somebody juggling time or money, or sometimes both. It certainly is a card that reminds us of the ups and downs in life, and that is how life is supposed to be. It is a card that very comes with the message that if we are juggling a little bit at the moment, this is temporary. This too shall pass. This won't go on forever. It's come coupled here with the Strengths card. So also the 1 and 1 makes a 2. Goes very nicely together. The Strengths is one of the major arcana, and I believe it's the first major arcana we've had so far in this reading. It says here, great inner strengths, release harsh judgments, forgiveness and compassion. So this is a card that comes at times where we need to be strong. It certainly is in many, many decks. In tarot is actually the number 8 and the number 11 is justice. And then in some decks it's the other way around. So very interesting. Today we've got it as the number 11. It's got a beautiful rainbow in the back, which just drew my eye. I very recently saw a real rainbow for the first time again in ages. So this is very much a card that says you have the strength to deal with this juggling act. There will be a bit of a juggling act, but we've just had this new beginning here as well. So sometimes what happens is that new things start, or we take on new beginnings, new opportunities, and in the moment it actually leaves us having to juggle things a bit until we settle into a new routine. Maybe there'll be one of those things that's too many that we also have to drop, and maybe until we work out what it is, we have to juggle in the meantime. So this really is just a card saying, hang in there. I know you've walked away from something here in order to have this new beginning, but don't worry, you are more than strong enough to deal with this situation in a good way. So the last day we're going to look at now is going to be Saturday the 7th of August. Let's have a look. We have the Page of Water. We're back to the water. So much water. So much to do with emotions and relationships in this reading. And then we have Unity. And here is another major arcana. We've got 2 next to each other here. Unity. And this beautiful deck, the Archangel Sandalphon. So the Page of Water. The Page of Water is sometimes called the Inner Child card. It's a card that sometimes comes at times where we need to pay attention to our own inner child, where maybe we need to be sensitive towards other people's inner children if they're being triggered. It's also a card about being mindful to actual children that are not grown up yet. So if you have children or work with children, it may also relate to that. It's a card that often says it's important to be playful and make time for play, and make time to relax and make time to feel our own emotions. And maybe your inner child will be bringing some emotions up that you need to make space for. And it's come with the Unity card, and it says traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So this card more traditionally is called the Hierophant, which can is sometimes represented as the bishop. So it can represent very kind of hierarchical, traditional spiritual organizations like the church. But in one of my other decks, it actually just shows a wise older man that's kind of got one hand pointing to heaven and one hand pointing to earth. And it's about connecting the spiritual with the earthly. It's this unity between heaven and earth that's represented by it. And he's holding the key of life. He has this kind of knowledge in his hand. So very interesting energies to kind of go into the weekend with. I'm going to put it like this because I like to have these two watery cards together. So where there's this beginning as well, it may actually be a beginning to do with a child for some of you, or it may be a beginning that really touches on the inner child, and it may help. This may be a day where your inner child can help you find this unity between your spiritual life and your physical life. Children are sometimes much better at just naturally tuning into the spiritual and just seeing it for what it is, or accepting it for what it is, than we can be as adults, because we've got too many. I think the word illusion came up earlier, and this was about potentially walking away from illusions, the Eight of Water. So this may be a good time for us to come back to seeing life, the spiritual and the earthly life, more through the eyes of a child, in order to regain some of that kind of unencumbered understanding, the kind of understanding of life that's more authentic to who we really are, that's not so coloured by other people's opinions that we may have taken on as we've gone through life so far. I'm just going to have another sip of my drink. So that I can carry on talking. So these are the tarot cards for this week coming up. I will need to move those to the side so that we can look at some oracle cards as well. Let's move these lovely cards over here. Very good. So we're going to have a message of hope, and we're going to have, I think, 3 theme for the week cards as well. And I think we'll just do the message of hope first. I was thinking about which one to do first. We're going to use the Grace cards for this by Cheryl Richardson. I have had these cards for such a long time. I love them so much. You will see that when I shuffle these, they do have the picture on both sides. So what I will need to do is shuffle these really well, and then even now as I'm shuffling, I've already closed my eyes. I've done this for so many years. When I use this deck, I close my eyes so that I can draw a card without looking at the pictures and trying to guess what's on them, and ultimately choosing a card by looking at what it is rather than intuitively. So, oh, one fell out. I'm not even going to draw one because one fell out for us, just like that. Or what I was saying there wasn't even necessary. It says act. Now, the first thing I'm thinking is we had a tarot card for early in the week that was saying use your intuition and have patience and choose wisely before you act. And now we have as the message of hope a card that says act. So there is some action required this week that's coming up, but it looks like we need to be very careful and very intuitive before we act. And on the back here it says, charge forward. When we combine action with unwavering faith, the power of grace will meet our needs. What a beautiful, beautiful message of hope. Let's put it here by the Hope Stone. Wow, what an amazing message we've got here. Very, very interesting. So we're now going to look at, I've got 3 oracle decks, and they're all going to be for the theme for the week. We've got here the Archangel Michael deck. I'm really, really feeling Archangel Michael, and he always was when we used the Angel Tarot earlier. He was on the back of all of those Angel Tarot cards. So we've got a lot of Archangel Michael in this reading. He is a good angel to call on in this coming week. He's always a good angel to call on, obviously, but in this coming week in particular, he's coming through very strong. Archangel Michael is very good at making us feel safe and protected, actually protecting us. He's also very good at cutting old cords that hold us back and that are not good for us or anyone else. He's very good at using his sword to help us cut through the truth of the matter, so that we can understand what's really going on. And ultimately, he gives us courage to do what needs to be done. And we have this card over there saying charge forward. So if we need to have faith and courage in order to do this, then Archangel Michael is here to help us with that. So enough of this shuffling. Let's draw a card for the theme for the week from the Archangel Michael deck. Now, I'm not going to turn it over just yet. Just leaving you on a little cliffhanger there. But we're going to draw all of the oracle cards before we have a look. So the next one is going to be the Ascended Masters. It's a very old deck that I've had for so many years. And I love it. I love sometimes going back to the old decks, especially if I haven't used them for a while. And I remember using them 15, sometimes 20 years ago, maybe. Yes, definitely. I have had some of those decks for that long. I have been reading tarot and reading for myself and for friends and for all kinds of people for so many years. And still every single time I'm curious, and every single time I'm surprised at least by some of what comes up, and I love it. Right, we now have a card from the Ascended Masters deck, and just to mix things up a bit, we're going to draw a healing energy card. Now, the beautiful Leanne Peters from Temple of Balance is actually in the process of designing a whole new version of these healing energy cards, and I cannot wait until I can order the new deck. They're going to be somewhat similar and in other ways very different. She puts them up on her Facebook page each time she's designed a new one, and you can really see the progression, and I'm loving the new energy that's coming with these cards. I'm really looking forward to those. I don't think they'll be coming until somewhere halfway through 2022, but that's fine. Right, let's draw a card from here as well. Here we go. So we have our 3 theme cards, and indeed the idea of choosing a theme card to go with the weekly guidance is definitely something I have seen Leanne Peters do. So I love doing that in my readings as well. Let's have a look at the first one. Oh, and I was saying about Archangel Michael can help us feel guarded and protected. And there is a prayer on this card that we can use in order to invoke the protection of Archangel Michael. And it says, thank you for protecting my loved ones and me, ensuring that we are safe and that all our needs are met. And this is the second card. It says here, the power of grace will meet our needs. And again, it's on here, our needs are met. I now accept your help gratefully and gracefully, knowing that it's right for me and all others to accept heavenly assistance. And again, here it speaks about the power of grace will meet our needs. So don't these cards go beautifully together? I love it when the messages work so well together. And also, I chose the Archangel Michael deck. Just looking for it now. Where did I put it? To get these lovely Archangel Michael messages. And what I spoke about was feeling guarded and protected. But there are many, many cards in this deck. I'm sure there's 44 cards. There's 44 cards, and this is the one card that says on it, you are guarded and protected. All the other cards have other messages, but that was the message that I came up with, and that's exactly what was on the card. So this is what many of us need to hear right now and focus on right now, because it looks like we're going to charge forward into very uncharted territory, maybe quite far outside our comfort zone. And Archangel Michael is really going to help us with this. Let's have a look what we've got from the Ascended Masters. Oh, it says focus upon your strengths, and it comes through as the god Apollo. Very interesting. So if this new situation, this new offering, this new beginning that we're meant to charge forward into, that's going to take a lot of courage. If this is going to involve some things that we're maybe not so familiar with yet, and maybe perceive as areas we're not so strong in, what this card stipulates is that this would be a good time to focus on our strengths, to focus on what we are good at, what we do know. And we also had the strengths card in the tarot reading for one of the days. So again, this is confirmation that this new beginning, this new situation, this new relationship, this new project, this new venture, we have the strengths needed in order to be successful in it. And now we've got the healing energy for the last theme card for the week. And we have meditation. And it says meditation and focus. And again, we've got focus here and we've got focus here. It says meditation and focus would be helpful for you right now. Gentle opening of your third eye chakra. Pay attention to the signs. And it says opportunity within the challenge. So again, the word opportunity has come up again. And also the word challenge. So this new opportunity that's coming in, we may experience it as quite challenging, but it's a good opportunity. It's meant for us, and there is lots of help available from Archangel Michael. So this is an important time to keep focusing on what we are good at, and maybe use things like meditation in order to help keep us grounded, in order to help keep us connected to the angels and the ancestors. Wow, I'm very, very excited about this week coming up. I'm very curious to see what new things will be offered to you. Pardon me. So yes, do let me know in the comments if you're happy to share what's happening in your life. If you don't want to share what's happening, you can just let me know that it resonates. That would be lovely for me to read in the comments. Please do like and share and comment on my videos. As usual, and I'm just going to start shuffling the Romance Angel cards here in the meantime. As usual, I will be uploading this reading on my YouTube channel, Indigo Owl. If you interact with my readings, it's lovely for me to see who I'm reading for. It will help my readings to become even more tuned into you as well because of your interaction. It will be easier for me to tune into you. It also helps me reach more people. The more people interact with my posts, the more people are likely to see it come up in their notifications. And if you follow me on YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel so you will be notified every time when I upload a new reading. Right, I'm having a good shuffle here. So we're going to have 3 Romance Angel cards for our Romance Angel pick a card. The invitation here is to choose one card to get a message specifically from the crystals are not in the usual order today. How very interesting. You will receive a specific message from the Romance Angels. You can choose more than one card if you want to ask more than one question, or if you want to ask about more than one person. Sometimes choosing just one card can make the answer clearer, so it's up to you how you wish to proceed with that. So this is card number 1 with the aquamarine, this is card number 2 with the rose quartz, and this is card number 3 with the marcasite. Oops, what's happening to our King Apollo here? Right, so card number 1, if you chose this card, here's your message. And it says flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. Now, this card often comes up at times where maybe we've got a bit of stagnant energy going on in our romantic life. Maybe there hasn't been someone around that has sparked our interest lately, or maybe we're in a relationship and things have gone a bit stagnant. This is a card inviting you to flirt in the most tasteful possible way. So this doesn't have to be in order to attract a new partner, and this doesn't have to be in a way that a current partner would be upset if they saw it happening. This is just a light-hearted way of interacting with people that can somehow, for like saying, get the juices flowing again. Let's have a look at card number 2. If you chose card number 2 with the rose quartz, here's your message. It says pay attention to red flags. Oh, you could see you can see how much I'm engaged in these readings. So yes, it may be you have the same reaction as me when you see this card and it says pay attention to red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Now, this card may come at times where it could literally mean this particular relationship that you're inquiring about, or this potential relationship, or this person you're inquiring about is not for you. This can also be a card that comes at times that where it's simply saying this is not the time to take things further or to approach somebody. There's something else happening. Somebody's still in some kind of a process they need to go through before they're ready for you. So this is, if you chose this card, this is for you to feel into and use your intuition, like we said earlier, in order to see what is right for you. What strikes me is that it's got a lot of this colouring here, what this person is wearing, and also here. So if this is the card you chose, pay particular attention to this card as well. That says meditation and focus would be helpful for you right now. It also says on here, pay attention to the signs. And here it says the signs are cautioning you. So for some of you, it may mean that the signs that you are seeing are asking you to be patient and be careful before you make any kind of a move or decisions. And if you chose card number 3 with the Marcasite, here is your message. Oh, it says love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you romantically more attractive. Well, I think that message is quite straightforward. If you feel entangled in some kind of wishful thinking around a relationship with somebody and it doesn't quite seem to be going in the direction you would like, or that person doesn't quite seem interested in you in the same way as you are in them, or if you are in a relationship and somehow things have gone a bit down the wrong road compared to what it is you wanted out of that relationship, this is a good time to come back to focusing on loving yourself first, and then reevaluating things and see how that maybe shifts things. So very interesting messages here from the romance angels. So we're coming to the end of this reading. I really hope that some or all of this reading has resonated with you. Thank you so much for joining me, whether it was live or in the replay. I have very much enjoyed reading for you. I hope you have an amazing week ahead. Take good care of yourself, and I will say namaste and goodbye.